Hey y'all, welcome back to Plate Lickers. So tonight I'm excited about the meal we're making because it's one of my husband's recipes. So I told you guys, I think when we were doing the pulley ham, if you've seen that video, if not, go back and watch it. But that was something he brought to the family, and this is another recipe that he brought to the family, and we lovingly call it Chuck's Chicken. But it's a chicken and rice dinner that is absolutely delicious. And I am going to show you guys what we put in this, and then we'll throw it together. Okay, here's the ingredients we're going to be using. Of course, chicken tenders, or you can use breast and just cut them into strips. And then I've got some lemon and onion. It's a half of a large onion sliced and 2 lemons. And then we have our rice, and I like to use jasmine rice with a little olive oil. I'll be using my real salt, organic seasoned salt, some parsley flakes, some onion powder, celery seed, garlic powder, black pepper, salt, a big can of the family size of cream of chicken soup, about 2 cups of milk, some sour cream, some shredded mozzarella, and this is 4.5 cups of chicken stock. And this is the stock that I made when I cut up the 2 whole chickens. I had used part of it in my collard greens, and this is the remainder of it. But that's basically Chuck's Chicken. So now we will put it together. Okay, so I've already got the oven set on 350, and what I'm going to do now is I foil lined a pan. I sprayed that with some olive oil spray, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take all these lemon slices and I'm going to put them on each one of the little chicken tenders, or I'm going to try. It might not be enough to do them all, but hopefully it will. Yeah, we're missing one, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just slide those close together and put one on there, okay? And then I'm going to just take these onions and I'm going to sprinkle them across the tops of all the other chicken. And you know me, if you don't like onion, just don't put it on there. It's no big deal. Or if you like the flavor of onion, and you don't like the onion pieces, but I'll be using these pieces further on in the dish. But if you don't like it, just sprinkle them with a little onion powder or leave it out altogether. Won't taste exact, but this is kind of like that one-pot meal. You know, it's like a casserole, so it's no big deal. And that's what it's going to look like when it goes into the oven. And I'm going to stick that, oh no I'm not. I'm going to now, sprinkle a little bit of the real salt, seasoning salt on there. We're going to just sprinkle that right across top of everything. And this has so much other spices and ingredients, I don't have to put this on both sides of my meat, because I told y'all I like to season both sides. But something like this where it's kind of a one-pot meal, you don't have to worry about that. Okay? So now I am just going to take this and I'm going to stick it in this oven, and we'll put the rest of it together. Alright, I'm setting my timer for 15 minutes. And while that is getting together, I am going to take my saucepan. And what I do is I take these kind of creamy ingredients that's going to go over it, and I put them in the saucepan because I heat it up on the stove. This is going to make it quicker. The rice is I need to get the rice on first. All right, so with the rice, that is what I cook the rice in the chicken stock. You can use chicken broth or you can use water. If you just use water, I would suggest you putting about 4 to 5 chicken bouillon cubes in it, just to give it that good chicken flavor. That way your rice is already flavored, and it's just not plain rice to make your dish taste kind of bland, okay? So now what we're going to do is we've got 4.5 cups of chicken broth or water, whatever you're going to use, and then we're just going to put 3 cups of jasmine rice in there. Okay, so really, I'm going to go ahead and put it on to boil. I don't always boil it first, but it does do better if we boil it first. So that's my quick burner, so it shouldn't take it long. I'm going to go ahead and measure out my 3 cups of rice, and I always use a paper plate for this because I'll put 2 on my plate and leave 1 in my cup. and I have it ready to dump in when the water boils, and that's how I do it. Okay, so I have my 3 cups of rice right here. As soon as that boils, I'll dump it in. And once I dump that in, I'll give it a little stir, put the lid on it, and turn it down to low to cook for 20 minutes. Okay, so the rice is going to be cooking. The chicken is already in the oven cooking. And the next thing we're going to do is we are going to add in our cream of chicken soup. This large family size. Look, if you don't want to use cream of chicken, you could use cream of mushroom. I have used it with that. I've never used cream of celery. I don't know that I'd try that in this, but if you want to try it and you've used that, go right ahead. Truthfully, I've never even bought cream of celery soup. But, and I don't use a whole lot of these processed soups, but in this recipe for Chuck's Chicken, we're using it. Then I'm going to put a whole container, and this is a 16-ounce container of sour cream. We're going to dump that right on in here. Alright. Get all that goodness out. This is going to make it creamy, and you know that sour cream just gives it that little bit of bite to it. Then we're going to put in 2 cups. Really, I'm only going to put in 1.5 cups for right now. And I'm going to save out this other half, because the other thing I do to kind of kick up the flavor is once my chicken is done, any juice that's on that pan from the lemons and the onions and the chicken, I add that into here. And I don't want it to be real runny. You want it to be kind of gravy consistency. Okay? So we're going to just whisk this up together. Again, this is I'll post this recipe because this is one of those things that you just feel your way around and you don't really use a recipe, but I know that you guys, like to have a recipe because you've not made it forever. So we'll show y'all my chicken scratch. I like to see my daughter figure this one out. I jotted down the recipe when I made this for a family and took it to them. Her mother passed away and I made this for them. So when I was making hers, I was jotting down I just made it I took it to them yesterday. So I jotted down the recipe so y'all could have that. All right, so now we will put in, let me get my daggone measuring spoon. Let me just grab a stack of them. Okay, so we're going to be putting in a tablespoon of parsley flakes, and this is mainly just kind of for color, but we're going to put in a tablespoon of parsley flakes, and then we're going to be putting in a teaspoon of onion powder. I would probably just be sprinkling some in the pot, but for you guys, I'm trying to start measuring. So a teaspoon of onion powder. Okay. And then we're going to put in half a teaspoon of garlic powder. All right. Where's my halfer? Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. And then we're going to be putting in 1/4 of a teaspoon of celery seed. Celery seed is super good. It just gives this distinctive flavor to things. I use a lot of celery seed when I'm cooking. 1/4 of a teaspoon of celery seed. Okay. Then we're going to be putting in a teaspoon of sea salt. And a teaspoon doesn't fit in here, so I'm just putting 2 halves. All right. And then we're going to put in a teaspoon of black pepper. I love black pepper. Do y'all like black pepper? I love it. And this McCormick's coarse ground black pepper is what I really like. So I've got this in here. It is kind of thick. So that's, you kind of have to play around with what you like. Can y'all kind of see that consistency? So even that little bit of juice, I am going to go ahead now that I'm looking at this, because I know I'm going to need this extra half cup of milk right here. So there is our kind of gravy sauce that we'll be putting over the top, kind of in the middle and the top of this. Can y'all see that? Nice consistency, creamy, rich, yum. All right, so I am going to stop here, go ahead and put this onto the stove and start to heat this up. I'll cook it on like medium low until the chicken and everything's ready. We got about 7 more minutes on our chicken, and I see my water boiling for the rice. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on. I will be back when these things are done and show you how we finish this off. If I can cut the camera on. Okay, the chicken's out of the oven. The sauce is almost heated up, and the rice has 5 minutes and 30 seconds left. So now what I do is I just take the lemons off, and I got a little bowl over here. I don't know if y'all can see this. Let me show you before I take all this off what the chicken looks like once it's done. That's it. It's cooked. I already took a little bit of juice while I was over there and dumped it in the pot with the sauce. So I'm taking the little lemons off now. I'll use 5 of these lemons for the top, just to give it that little extra. You know how I roll. We got to have that extra. Make it look pretty. Everything needs to look pretty, because we know we eat with our eyes first. So my husband's recipe was more of a bachelor's basic recipe with the cream of mushroom soup, regular rice. He did cook the chicken this way, but he didn't put all those spices in it. He didn't put the sour cream or I don't think milk. I think he might have mixed it with water. I don't know. But you know me, I had to kick it up a little bit. So these onions, what I'm going to do with the onions is I have a cutting board right here. Y'all probably can't see it, but that's okay. But I just take these onions that are cooked up and I dice them up, and I will add them back to one of the layers that I'm doing. So you don't have to add in the onions. You don't have to dice them up. My husband never did. He just kind of threw them away, but I like onions. So I'm not going to waste those. I'm going to add them right back in this and make it yummy. Extra yummy. Alright. This really is a fast and delicious one-pot meal. You guys could, half this if it's just 1 or 2 of you and you don't want a 9x13. You could just use a smaller, casserole dish or baking pan or whatever it is that you have that you could make this in. Or you can make it and share it. Share it with your kids. Do y'all have kids? Grown kids that like to have something from mom that they don't get to have anymore. This is a great thing to do. My knife isn't big enough to chop those, so let me get my other knife that's right here in the fish drain because I already used it. Alright, and these are just those little onions that were left, and I'm going to just kind of dice them up a little bit and have them ready. You see, I'm just moving this knife around, got my fingers on here because I'm just doing the pivot to chop these up. Alright, that's good enough. Now what I'll do is, while we're still waiting on this other stuff, I need to give my sauce a quick little stir, and I'm going to turn it off because it's hot enough. Okay, I'm going to just stir it up so it doesn't stick. Alright, 2 minutes left, so I'm going to take 4 of the prettiest lemons, and what I'm going to do is, let me just show y'all. So I'm kind of making an S, but with your lemon, I'm going to slice through it, but I'm going to just slice from about right here. I'm going to leave about 1/4 of an inch unsliced. Okay? So I'm going to do 4 of these. I'll show you what we're going to do to make them so pretty. You can use more if you like, but that's all I'm going to use is the 4. Okay? So we've got that ready. Okay, for some reason my camera just cut off right in the middle of that, but nothing went on after I cut those lemons. The rice is ready. To give y'all a quick tip, you know how when you serve rice, it gets sticky on your spoon, then your spoon's hard to clean? I just take a little bit of spray, and I just spray my spoon before I stick it in, and then it keeps all that starch from sticking on it. Makes it easier to clean. So now all we're going to do is we're going to take this rice and probably about, I don't know, a little bit more than half. And we're going to just put maybe 2/3 of the rice. And we're going to just spoon it. Oh, I should have fluffed it up a little bit. Oh, well. Yeah, maybe don't mind being not fluffed. All right, so then we're just going to dump it right. Can y'all see this? Yeah, okay. Dump some of this right on top of here. You talking about comfort food? Now this is some nice comfort food. Tell me in the comments if y'all like one-pot dishes, casseroles, and things like that. So we've got, that's probably enough for right now. It's about halfway in this baker. Now this is a little bit deeper than a regular 9x13 like a Pyrex or something, but there's that. So then what we do is we just take our chicken tenders. This is pot in y'all's way. This one's in my way. All right, and we're going to just take them on their side, and we're going to just place them in 2 rows. And I don't know how far, just trying to even them out. It doesn't really matter. It's a one-pot dish. And they're maybe 1 inch apart, something like that. I don't know. And then this row, I come in between. I'll show you. I'll hold it up and show y'all what I'm talking about. A couple of these little pieces was in this pack, and it's Purdue Organic, but a couple of little pieces was kind of scraggly looking. But guess what? It's going to have rice all over it, so I don't really care if it's scraggly looking. Okay, so you can kind of even them out, wiggle them back around, make them kind of even so everybody gets a little piece. We'll just put that one here at the end. It don't need to fit. I could have given it to poor little bear, but you don't need it. So then what I do is I take this foil off and I fold it all up. Y'all know about cleaning much scrubbing stuff. So now what I'm going to use this for is I'm going to set this pan on it, so if it runs over when it's baking, I really need to put some more foil on it, but I don't have it here. Before I put it in, like when I get off the video, I'll probably cover this with foil again in case it does run over. It's going to run over on foil and not on just my cookie sheet. But I did want to show y'all that's what I do. So now we've got our chicken on here. I'm going to bring it up a little bit closer so y'all can get a close-up look. See how it's just kind of on there, right? So then what we're going to do is we're going to take our sauce and we're going to just start spooning it over the top here. And get it all covered up and let it go down in those nooks and crannies. So who wants dry rice? Nobody wants some dried up rice. So we're going to make this good and creamy and moist. It's going to be so yummy. And just keep on spooning it over. You want to save just a little bit of the sauce. Not too much. But, and look, you can just kind of, okay, as I was saying before I had technical difficulties again, I don't know why my camera keeps cutting off, but it does. All I was saying was, as you're spooning that sauce, you can take and go in between each of the chicken pieces and just wiggle it around so that sauce can kind of get down in that rice. So now we've got it covered in sauce. We've just got a little bit of sauce left for the next kind of layer. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take the rest of our rice and we are just going to kind of top this with the rest of the rice. And just kind of spread it out. I have to keep looking at the camera, make sure it's not turning off. The struggle is real, folks. The struggle is real. But I am eyeing a couple of cameras. I'm doing a little research to find out, you know, what maybe the best one is for me to get so I don't have to keep on struggling with this cell phone. Because it's not the best for this. Almost got it. So see, it's not a whole lot of rice left for the top, but it's just enough to kind of cover it up. And that's all we want to do is just kind of cover this up. Now my husband, he likes to leave the chicken showing and just try to get this rice all in between the chicken. No, I'm just covering it up. All right, that's done. Sit this over here out of my way. Now what we're going to do is, well, actually before I put that rice on, I should have put those little chopped up onions on there, but it don't really matter what order because it's one pot. So now, before I put that remaining sauce, I'm going to put these little onions on here. But generally, I would put them on right after the first layer of sauce. Then I would top it with the rice, but I think it's not going to matter, right? Now I got to rinse my hands off. It just doesn't matter with a one-pot dish. Anything you want to do. Okay, so now we're just going to take this little bit of remaining sauce and we're going to just kind of drizzle this over the top. Just a little drizzle, drizzle, drizzle. Just a little more moisture to go on the top, a little creaminess to go on there. Get around the little edges here. All right. Every little drop. Waste not, want not. Is that what y'all's mama used to tell y'all? I know mine did. My grandma too. My mama did not waste a thing. She still doesn't. We never knew if we were getting margarine or leftovers because she saved every butter dish, yogurt dish, anything. See what that looks like? All right. So we're almost done. It's almost time to put in the oven. Now look, I turned my oven. You know, I cooked the chicken on 350. I have turned it up to 450 because everything in here is cooked and hot. All I want to do is take this cheese and melt it and get it kind of bubbly, kind of golden brown and bubbly. So I'm just taking this little pack. It's like 2 cups of shredded mozz. And y'all know I told you I usually shred my own cheese, but this kind right here is good, and they had a great sale on it, so I just went ahead and bought it. Just cause I did. Just cause I did. Sometimes you do what you don't normally do, just cause you get a, you know, wild hair or something. I don't know what you call it. Anyway, that's what we're gonna do. So now we've got the mozzarella cheese on the top. Okay, so these little lemons that I cut almost all the way, I'm gonna give them just a twist, and I'm gonna put those in the 4 corners. So you're just twisting it like an S, and you're putting them in the 4 corners. Twist. Oh, I needed 5. I only got 4. Well, good thing they're laying right there. Forget. All right, let me get this one more right here. We're going to cut that one up. And I like to take this one and put it in the middle. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here and get these little parsley flakes. And I'm going to just pretty it up with these little parsley flakes. And we're going to put it in that oven. And I mean, it's probably not, maybe 15 minutes. Just until I see this stuff is brown and bubbly. I'm gonna get me a piece of foil and put on that, but there it is. What you think? I know my lighting's terrible, huh? It looks good, doesn't it? All right. So I'm going to jump off here. I'm going to put some foil on my sheet pan. I'll put that in here. We're going to pop it in the oven for about 15 minutes. I'm going to be back when it's done, and we will plate up, give it a taste, and sit down and have some supper. If I can turn it off now. Okay, dinner is ready. I'm going to try to hold it up so y'all can see it's almost pretty as my lasagna I made. It's heavy. One, the Pampered Chef pan's heavy enough. What do you think of that? Oh yeah, beautiful. Alright, so I decided at the last minute I forgot about, any side dish, and I'm all about having green. Food Lion broccoli florets. Y'all know I love Food Lion. I'm just Food Lion girl because they have good quality ingredients. Look at this. I don't know if y'all can see in the bag, but when they say broccoli florets, they're not kidding. Look at these beautiful trimmed pieces of IQF broccoli, individually quick frozen, so it's not all stuck together. It's not a bunch of stems in here. It's not a bunch of broken up pieces in here. This is 100% usable vegetables. So this is another one of my favorite Pampered Chef things. This is a micro cooker, and I don't know if y'all can see this. This is so super cool. I'm gonna just show you. I ain't trying to say you want to show you. See the little holes right here? So, I put about, a quarter cup of water in here, and I stuck it in the microwave for about 4 minutes. But when I drain it, you just flip that thing over and drain the water right out of it. This thing is so nice. And then the lid locks. The lid's locked. You have to twist the lid around to unlock it. Beautiful. Great tool to have. I put a little bit, I drained the water already, and I put a little bit of salt and some butter. So we're going to cut into some Chuck's chicken. And I'm sorry to tell y'all, but Charles ate a late lunch. It was like 3 o'clock when he finally came in to eat lunch. So he will not be eating tonight. So I won't be doing a video at the table this evening. I'll just be tasting a little bit right here. Can y'all see that? Look at that cheese. Okay, we're gonna just put this on here. Cheese. Alright. Get that good brown gooey cheese. Woo, yes. Alright, so there's our little lemon. We're going to put that little lemon curl on the top. We're going to try to get that cheese off my finger. Alright, I'm going to put a few little pieces of broccoli on here. And that's going to pretty it up, that pretty green broccoli. I love broccoli. It's one of my favorite veggies. So, I saved another one of those little lemons. We're going to just give that little lemon a twist and just put it right here on the side. Just for a little decoration. Bear, sorry buddy, you already ate. There it is. Oops. Oh, you can have that one, Bear. Look, he is eating the broccoli. That's hilarious, isn't it? He said, thank you, mama. Well, good. I'm glad he got him some greens in. All right, let's, of course, y'all know I forgot the fork again. Oh, man, this stuff's hot. I hope I don't burn my tongue. I need to find a little piece of chicken here. There we go. I'm going to cut into this and get some of that good chicken in there. All right, here we go. Don't burn your mouth, Lauren. Yes, she's steaming. I mean, this thing's nuclear. I burned my tonsils. All right, let's go in. Creamy. You can taste that little zip of the lemon. That jasmine rice. If y'all have never had jasmine rice, go buy you some. It is the best. It cooks up, like y'all saw, I didn't even rinse that rice. For certain things, I rinse it. But for this, when I'm just cooking up, and it comes out just as fluffy and nice, but all that gooey mozzarella cheese. And this is, I mean, there is nothing, can y'all see, there is nothing dry. I'll hold it up, Lord. There's nothing dry. Like, every bit of this is covered in sauce. There's no bunch of dried up rice in here. It's just saucy all the way through. Those spices are just, everything just blends and melds together. It is perfect. Y'all fix you some Chuck's chicken. I'll get Casey to type up the recipe. Casey, thanks for all your help for your mama. I'll get her to type up the recipe and post it, because this is something you want to make for your family. It's fast, it's good. You can eat on this all week long. You can send it to the kids to school if they're, you know, able to heat something up in a microwave, or if you have one of those little thermos dishes where you can put it in hot, you can take it to work with you. You can share it with family, friends, neighbors. This is a great thing to take to a potluck. People love it. It is gone, one of the first things gone. So try you some Chuck's chicken and sit back and enjoy the comfort of your kitchen. Thank you, guys. Make sure, if you like this, to share it. Ask your friends to follow me. I would appreciate it. Y'all have a good night, and we will see you tomorrow. I already know this plate liquor. I'm telling you right now, this is a plate liquor. Night, y'all.